Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and today's video is going to be a universally applicable video to any class and specialization in the game. I'm a Warlock, but this works for anybody. Today's video is going to be looking at add-ons, UI add-ons and things in Midnight Beta. Over the past few days, weeks, I spent a lot of time trying to dive into these and figure out what I can do with my UI. What can I change? What can I change? Because I'm not a add-on writer. I don't know all the weekly limitations that Blizzard's changing mean. There's some Boolean references. I don't know what Boolean even is. I got chicken bouillon in the fridge. But all this stuff's happening. I don't know what it means, but I wanted to get on and try things out and see what I could do day one of Midnight Beta. Also, real quick, shameless plug. We're like 3.5k subs away from 100k on YouTube. If you guys aren't subbed, it would mean the world to me if y'all subbed. You don't have to. My love flows all the same, but we're very, very close. And I'd love to hit it before midnight launches. End of the year would be sick. I don't think it's gonna happen before end of the year, but if you aren't subbed, please consider subbing. It would mean the world to me. All right, beta. Credit to all the add-on authors and writers out there that are putting in all kinds of work for this. We have a lot of sections in this video today we're going to break down, a handful of sections, but I want to go off the bat here by reviewing very briefly what add-ons I'm using, and then we'll break down each section with timestamps. So I'll give a brief add-on list here, but this is applicable to any class in the game, where you can skin things with, a Weak War-esque HUD here, skin your bars, have, a player frame like this as well. There's other things, cast bars, look at that as we go. So, as a quick rundown here, I'll have links to my Warlock profiles for my Cooldown Manager down below in the description. If I forget it, remind me. I'm probably sleeping when this video comes out. If things are broken, post in the comment section. I'll try and put them there, update it. But once again, you can do this for any class, right? So briefly, what add-ons I'm using, it's for action bars and cast bar, which we'll look at in a minute here, is Dominos. So this is here, as well as the cast bar, which is right here. That'll change a bit if I get more skins for it, but there's that. I'm using Masque. Masque is being used to skin these basically right here, like this. If you don't want these LVY like box-esque frames, you can turn off Masque and it works all the same. I'll turn it off for you right here just to show you what it looks like. I want to turn it off. We're using Playtnator for nameplates, which are over here, which is an awesome add-on. The add-on creator Mouse is awesome person. Had a couple quick dialogues with them, trying to add a couple features in, which we'll look at in a minute here to Playtnator. Did it within a few minutes. Insane, awesome person, and a really cool add-on. Super user-friendly. Both Playtnator and Plater look to be maintained or look to be being maintained for Midnight Beta. Plater offers a crazy amount of functionality and customization, but a lot of that's being pulled back on. I'm sure they'll update it as well. Playtnator is very user-friendly. We'll look at that in a minute here too. Both are great. I'm using Playtnator currently. BetterBlizzFrames, which is basically these frames right here. We'll look at that in a minute as well. And finally, Cooldown Manager Tweaker, which will probably be the longer portion of the video. And we'll go from there. Quartz is not working as far as cast bars are concerned. Sensei's class resource bar is the only working resource bar that I've seen now. I heard Twin Tops will work, but it's not working right now. However, it's not working for partial generation of resources like for Destro with partial shards, like 3.1, 1.4, 2.6. You don't see the 0.x value. It's always like 2, 3, 4 shards. So we're not using those for now, but regardless, honestly, for a day 2 version of beta, like a beta UI, I'm actually decently impressed. I'm a simple Florida man, but I was able to make it work. So yeah. Okay, so let's break it down here and get into different sections. I'll put timestamps below as well, if you guys are curious about stuff, and you can skip around and do whatever you want. Alrighty, so the first thing here is going to be Dominos. Now I'm using Dominos currently for my bars here, as well as my cast bar. I've used Quartz for a long time with my cast bar. I might go back to it if it works. I'm not sure if it's gonna be supported in Midnight Beta. I don't know what's being supported and what's not, but this is what's working right now. So if you haven't used Dominos before, it's very similar to Bartender. I've used Bartender for a very long time. I don't think it's working currently, but Dominos is, and it's super simple to play with, right? So if you install Dominos, it'll put basically a little button on your minimap here, left click config mode, shift left click binding mode, right click to show options menu. Super simple. Click this basically and pulls this up, right? Now it'll put multiple action bars on your screen here. For example, I have action bar 12, 13, 2 here. I was messing with it earlier. If you don't want these bars to be shown, or you want them to be shown, you can middle mouse click. Like middle mouse click, currently it's shown in this blue form here. If I click with my middle mouse button, it's hidden. I want this bar to be active here. Shown, 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 hidden, hidden, hidden. Super easy to customize. Other boxes over here as well with roles for like loot rolls, alerts, extra abilities, more action bars here. I don't want this on right now actually either. But this is my dragon riding bar, which once again, if I don't want it shown, just turn it off. It will indeed turn your action bar 1 into your dragon riding bar or sky riding, whatever it is, regardless, so I don't need 2 bars. But regardless though, Dominos is being used for my actual bars here. As well as my cast bar, which you hop out of here, you'll see if I cast a spell, Great Health Zone, there's the actual cast bar. It shows latency, all that kind of stuff. It is currently bugged for channel abilities from what I've seen. If I move here and stop the channel, it'll spit a Lua error at me. It keeps channeling. Not the end of the world, just cast another spell. It's not channeled like Health Zone, and it stops the cast. Close the Lua error out, whatever, not a big deal. But functionality wise, provides both a cast bar as well as baseline bars here. If you want, you can, I mean, it removes the griffins. I'm sure there's a lot more customizations with what Dominos as well. Honestly, I'm not that concerned with it. For bars, all I really want is a simple version of them like this. And the Blizzard UI for bars is also really good. I'm mainly using Dominos here just for the cast bar and to hide the griffins and all that stuff. Might even be able to hide griffins with Blizzard's default UI. I don't know. I'm using it for this, and I'm using it for the option to have bars over here that are faded out. If Blizzard added this functionality to their bars, I would just use Blizz default bars. Yeah, but they don't. I like having a bar over here with random junk like Create Soul Well, summoning, underwater breathing, all that random garbage I use once in a blue moon, that I can go like this. Hey, I need this button randomly. Someone calls for health stones. There you go. When I'm done, it fades away. It doesn't take up extra space in my UI. It's not cluttered looking. Dominos can do that super easily. If you want to mess with it, pull up Dominos again. Bang. Click this. I think it's right click. You go to fading, and it's fade out. I think, right? Yeah, fade out. If you want to fade it to 0. You can set the duration for how long it stays up, like the icons, you hover over it, whether it's 3 seconds or 10. You can save that, hover over it. Now they last for 10 seconds compared to 3. Super simple to customize. If you want to change your cast bar, you can do that as well. Let me reset this. Where'd it go? 10 seconds fading. 3 is fine. There we go. Right there. Perfect. There we go. If you want to change your cast bar or things as well, there's some way to do it. Here. Yeah, there you go. So cast bar, right click, layout, display, textures, font, whatever you want here. There's multiple ways to get skins for this apparently. I don't care for skins, whatever, it's fine. It's a cast bar. That's all I need really. But if you want, you can fade it out. Don't think you really need to. Different fonts, different textures, all that kind of stuff. Very simple, but it works really well. So if you're looking for like a bar add-on and or early cast bar, I'm using Dominos. Works really well. So moving on from there, we have Blizzard or Better Blizzard Bar or Better Blizzard Frames. Sorry, Better Blizzard Frames. I'm not using this add-on for a whole lot currently. I wanted player frames that are different from the actual like main frames that I'm using in WoW. Now there is a custom script that I put in that someone put in my Discord that you can get rid of the player portrait with, but it does basically remove like this entire frame if the target's low on health. You don't see like an empty frame. You just see like cleave training dummy and nothing else below it. I wouldn't recommend doing that now. The author of Better Blizzard Frames said that they would indeed be adding a option to remove the portrait pretty soon, which is very cool. So that's solid. If you want to pull this up, it's /BBF. And a lot of options in here. Don't worry about it a whole lot. A lot of things, I clicked 2 or 3 buttons in here. It was mostly under player frame. If you want other things, like there's like cooldown and stuff you can do, but I wouldn't mess with this much, honestly. All I really did was just go under here, download this. It was pretty much just plug and play. There wasn't really a whole lot else to it. This is also, I guess I can be changing to have the option to remove the player frame. If you want to like hide the ZZZ rest text animation, you can, or the animation with little things over here, you can do that as well. Lots of stuff, hide, rest, glow, high group indicator, all this stuff. Resource power, like for shards here, if you want your shards removed, hide resource power. I don't need 2 frames, I have one right here. Dark mode, yeah, you can make the thing dark versus light. I like dark mode very much, so we're doing that. I don't know what this even does, but sure. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's fine. Yeah, a lot of like little things you can do with it if you want, but all I wanted was really just like a simple plug and play, better like frame. We can go from there. I'll remove the portrait whenever they add the functionality in, but I don't want to run too many custom scripts and things right now because it's beta, and also I want to maintain like a pretty much plug and play experience for people who are looking at the video or whatever without saying, hey, add all this custom coding, because honestly, it's too complicated. I want to show you what you can do with just baseline add-ons, and here we are. So pretty simple for BetterBlizzFrames, but that's it. Yeah, that was Dominos for this, the action or the my action bars as well as my cast bar, and BetterBlizzFrames for my player frames. The next thing I want to get into here is nameplates. Now you might be wondering, oh, these look a lot better than last time. In a sense, they're not jumping all over the screen. To address that, from what I understand, like the jumping nameplates thing is a Blizzard issue or a Blizzard thing they need to fix. Apparently the CVARs that have been put in for like the space between the top of nameplates and spacing between nameplates can't be adjusted anymore like they used to be, and Blizzard set their own default values. I could be wrong there. I'm not sure. Once again, I don't know. I can't confirm it all, but that's what I've been told, which causes when you're using stacking nameplates to for nameplates to basically do well, this, right, and jump all around. If you're not using stacking nameplates overlapping, they look a lot better, but if you're a multi-dot class, this is going to be impossible to deal with. Just being honest, this is going to be impossible to deal with. We need a better version of stacking nameplates. So it's still a work in progress, I guess, in Blizz. I'm not really sure. I can go over here and have a good laugh with these. These mobs are over here. Let's target the middle mob right there, him. Let's see where he jumps to when he begins stacking. Let's see. Let's stack him and his friends. Let's see how it goes. Woo! They're over here. All right. This one. Oh, funny enough, this nameplate is actually the mob right here behind the wall. Where'd my friend in the middle go? Oh, I don't know. So we're going to sort of ignore this for now. From what I understand, it can't be adjusted by actual name or like nameplate add-on writers or anything. It's more of a Blizz thing. It'll change hopefully at some point. I'm just the messenger. I'm sorry. But if you're looking for actual like nameplates and stuff, like add-on for it. Also these debuffs here being shown, for example, like this, whatever this is from this mage. Apparently this is a bug. You should be able to turn this off by going into options, nameplates, and like, I think it's enemy friendly player buffs and debuffs. Turn them off, but it doesn't work, doesn't do anything. So hopefully whenever you turn it off, it'll actually work. Whether it's like, it doesn't work, but I don't want to see everybody's debuffs, right? Hopefully it'll be fixed soon. However, so we're going back to overlapping here and looking at actual nameplate add-ons. So there are two currently that are, well, there's probably more than two. The two I know of right now are Plater and Playtnator. Now I'm using Playtnator currently. If you used Plater in the past, it's very simple, or it's very similar, I should say, to a Plater is, Plater has been. However you want to look at it. Now, I'm using Playtnator currently. I'll turn it off and grab Plater. I don't like each other when I'm using it at the same time, so I'll show you what Plater does here. A lot of Plater functionality that doesn't really work, I believe, is still part of Plater itself. It's even spitting a bunch of errors at me, so that's great. Maybe we won't use Plater at all. That's okay, actually. We won't use it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It was working yesterday, but it's fine. We don't need it. It's okay. Both are being maintained, but Playtnator, I would say, is a more user-friendly version of nameplates. The person that maintains or is creating Playtnator, I believe their name is Mouse, awesome person. I had a brief discussion with them yesterday about spacing between nameplates and like clicking things and all that. They implemented a change within 5 minutes. Insane. So thank you to them. Awesome add-on. Getting into it, so let me have a macro for it. Typing out /Playtnator is a little annoying at times, but it's okay. Let me see if I have this macro. There we go. So if you're looking at Playtnator, click the button here and it pulls this up, right? Or type /Playtnator with a Y, right? So there's a handful of things you can do. I have a custom style on here. If you want to do other things, like, for example, like these nameplates here, custom, you can change it to Beaver, Blizzard, or this is Blizzard nameplates, Blizzard Classic, a bunch of different skins you can use here. I have a custom one. I think I broke it, but it's fine, whatever. I'll fix it later, I guess. Unfortunate, but it's okay. So yeah, now when it comes to these nameplates, I think I had it set to Beaver. I don't remember if I had it to actually. It was Hedgehog. I don't know what I had it set to. I forgot what I had it set to. It's fine. I need to save my thing. It's fine. What is that one? Oh my gosh, it's a scary one. But yeah, so I didn't save it. Point being though, it's super customizable, right? So if you go to like the designer tab here, now Plater doesn't have anything like this. but Playtnator used to give a lot more options. A lot of them are being restricted now. But if you want to make a change on the fly to Playtnator nameplates, super easy, super simple. For example, let's say I'm targeting this. This blue aura here is like the targeting aura glow. If I don't want this, click it, delete it, it's gone. If I want to move like the name of what the actual mob is here, say to like the bar itself, like watch over here, move this and watch the name like move over here, right? Watch it move. It literally moves with it, right? So let's say, for example, I'm trying to build bars from scratch. I don't really care about like a player power bar, so I'm gonna delete this. But if I want, you can leave it on the nameplate here, wherever you want, and it moves. Literally, it's updating it right now as we're doing this, right? I'm gonna delete it, but either way, that's fine. So if I move like the elite symbol over here, a bit more space. For example, I want to move the name a bit more here. I toss it right about there. You have the option to truncate this, which is like basically watch the name here. Shortens it. I want to populate from the right, so we're going to do this. Sorry, from the left. So we're going to do this and position this right here in the nameplate, and there we go. Scaling wise, I probably use about 80%, usually a bit more, a bit less. Some names are very long, obviously, so it might not fit fully. You have the option of dragging this as well for raw percent. I'll place it right here. If you want both the percent and the absolute health value, you can put it there. They might overlap a bit. However, what you can do, go back to the actual name that I was dragging around here a second ago, go to width restriction. You can see this little blue bar here. I can restrict this to be about this large. If I position this, then it's not clipping into the absolute value and the percent. Now I might truncate the name a bit more than I want, but that's fine. Likely I won't use both values here on this, so let's remove the absolute value, percent, go back over here, make the width restriction a bit larger, so we can go like this, and you got most of the name here, with a bit of a percent spot left there as well. You can mess with that. You can also like, absolute value it. You can truncate that as well if you want. And also have some width restrictions there if needed. But the customization, like the option to come in here and drag things around and move our dots around. Like watch these dots here from the shaman. I can move this over here. Wherever I drag this, it updates like proactively. It's really, it's super customizable and really user friendly for newer players that don't want to deal with all like the XY axis of Playtnator. This is great. So I'm going to put dots here, for example, roughly like the marker of the actual mob. I don't really care the way I put it over here. I'm sure it's fine. But if I mark this, say with a square, there it is. Drag it over here. Oh, it's right there. Super simple. Over here we have auras, buffs, and crowd control. You can change the cast bar, different borders, foreground, background. You can change, I think you can even show target of target possibly. I think maybe. But color is an option here too. Normal cast color, uninterruptible. Playtnator is really solid for nameplates. So if you're looking at a nameplate add-on, I recommend Playtnator. Playtnator's good as well. But regardless, the jumping nameplates that you see, that is not a nameplate. That is not an add-on thing. That's more a Blizzard thing. It needs to be corrected somehow. Is it going to happen? I pray to God, but I don't know. One final thing here, you can come in here and change things for like friendly nameplates and such, right? For example, like if I turn on friendly nameplates, should be working here. It might not be. It's probably on me. I probably scuffed it, but either way, there's options under here for friendly styles, enemy styles, whatever. Name only. I don't know why it's not working actually, but it's fine. It's probably on me. I probably broke it. But no big deal. But what I want to show here is the click region scale. So this is one of the big things I wanted for Playtnator for a couple weeks now, actually. And this is the main functionality that kept me trying to see if Playtnator was working and using Playtnator, is that when it comes to Blizzard nameplates and default Blizzard nameplates, like if I disable Playtnator, for example, here, Playtnator gives a buffer area of like, I can click in the general vicinity of a nameplate and it will select it. The Blizzard nameplates don't do that. You have to be like aligned perfectly, aligned to center, and click. I can't jump through multiple mobs here with much ease. It's a pain. When they're overlapping, it isn't that bad. When I'm in a dungeon trying to multi-dot and refresh dots, and they're all jumping around a bit and trying to catch multiple different targets and stuff, it's very hard to like find the Aim Labs hitbox of the nameplate and click direct center to target. Like, I want to be able to click like in this vicinity here. Like, let's say like I want to click here or like here. Like select, I can't, right? And that even this square doesn't do it. And that makes it hard to change targets, multi-dot, whatever, and M+, any kind of like AoE scenario. Playtnator had a slider that I forgot what it was called, but it had a slider that basically expanded like the frame or like the area you could click around nameplates to select that target. Playtnator didn't have that until literally today, which is once again the add-on writer Mouse. I talked to them in Discord briefly, and they said, yeah, we'll add that. And within 10 minutes, it was on CurseForge for update, and it's super sick. So let me show you what that does. So I'll re-enable Playtnator here. I think it's a little buggy right now. It could be a me thing. Let me reload. I think it's a little buggy now, but could be me. It seems like whenever I relog or reload, the actual like space around the nameplate resets, so I can't really click it like in the extra added space. But with the functionality working, I should be able to click like right here or right here and select this nameplate. So for example, pulling up Playtnator, under behavior, click region scale. So like, let's make this basically 1%. I have to click like pretty much almost like the direct center to like click this nameplate somewhere in here, but it's baseline 100, right? Obviously. But for example, baseline 100 is right about here. And I can click like right about here, won't select it, but clicking the nameplate selects it, obviously. If I make this larger, let's say 300%, max it out. Now, being right here, see it start to glow right here, right like, in like a general, yeah, here. If I click here, it'll select it. If I click here, it'll select it. If I click, the side's not working, but like, you know, in a general like top bottom manner fashion, it'll select that nameplate. And that's really nice when it comes to having the functionality of like stacking nameplates working and trying to multi-dot or refresh multiple dots individually, agony, wither, whatever, any kind of class in M+. Having that passive functionality baked in is actually really nice. Like for example, if I'm multi-dotting here as Affliction, say I have a couple agonies out, I'm doing whatever, you can make dots smaller also. I didn't do that with my custom thing here yet, but I'm doing this, for example, throw a seed out, and all right, I need to basically refresh agonies a bit early, whatever. Let's wait for him to fall. Dominos is spitting a lure at me because I channel an ability. Don't worry about that. Waiting for dots to fall. Let's say, all right, here, I want to refresh this. 5, pandemic's about now. All right, click. Click. I even clicked right here to go over here and refresh this. I click right here to target this, Not having to go Aim Labs Pro, find direct X, direct Y, click center, like Blizz default nameplates is a game changer for multi-dot classes, hitting nameplates on the fly. So this functionality being added to Playtnator and having it in Playtnator is huge. So I definitely would recommend trying out Playtnator, I'm using Playtnator. I think it's great as like your nameplate add-on. The jumping stuff here, from what I understand, is once again not an add-on issue. It's more just like a Blizzard thing. Hopefully they fix it. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, as far as nameplate add-ons, I'm currently using Playtnator. I've used Playtnator for a while. Both are great. Both are very customizable. All right, and the last bit here is going to be the Cooldown Manager Tweaker, which is an add-on, and Masque. Now, really quickly, Masque, super simple to talk about. Look at this. See how it has like the black borders and such on it? I believe this is a custom version of Masque. I'm not sure exactly. Somebody in my chat linked it to me last night. I've had some issues with Masque being a little weird and like adding larger borders to some icons. It's beta. Obviously it'll be fixed, no big deal. If you want it to look like this, which is like similar to LVOI and Week of Wars and things in general, you can use Masque. If you don't want Masque, you can just turn it off. It looks like, well, like this, which is actually the baseline Cooldown Manager. Very simple or similar and more than fine. I'll probably use Masque whenever it's like, you know, working fully and all that stuff, but pretty cool either way. So this right here is the in-game Cooldown Manager and Cooldown Manager Tweaker. Now, I will very briefly hit on the resource bar here too. If you want this resource bar, whatever class you are, go under here or go into your edit mode, whatever this is. Technically go to options, search personal resource display. If it's not on, turn it on. There you go, bang. Pull up edit mode and you'll have what looks like this with these bars on it. Nobody wants these health bars here. Just go in, whenever you have this on, put it wherever you want, click it, hide health and power bars, and there you go. There's your shard bar. This works for any resource class, Fury, whatever you want, Insanity, whatever you want, there you go. There are a couple resource-based add-ons that are, I guess, working now, sort of. I heard Twin Tops is going to work. Not working currently yet. Sensei's class resource bar is, however, it's not showing partial shard generation for Warlock, like for Destro, when you have like 3.x, like 3.2, 3.7, 1.5. It doesn't show that x, that point x value. So whenever it's updated, that'd be sick. But for now, it's just like full shards. I'm just using this, but whatever, no big deal. It'll be fixed hopefully at some point. So we need some way to track partial shards as Destro. But regardless, that's for the resource bar if you want that, and Masque. Now, when it comes to cooldown manager tweaks and the cooldown manager itself, so cooldown manager tweaks is this. I think it's just /CMT to pull it up. Currently, it only works for essential cooldowns and utility cooldowns. Now, what are those? Those are the options you have in the cooldown manager. This is essential cooldown bar. This is the track buffs, and this is the utility cooldowns. So if we ignore cooldown manager tweaks for right now, close it out, and pull up the cooldown manager, if you want to customize these rows here, edit mode, click whichever one you want, doesn't really matter, and click advanced cooldown settings. Pulling this up, pulls up the cooldown manager. Now, there is currently no way to add custom effects here to this. Whatever Blizzard says you can track is what you can track. If you want to track a trinket, uptime, whatever, unfortunately, you can't do it. I really hope Blizz adds functionality for that. What I would love for like the, you have spells here, central cooldowns and utility cooldowns. Click this, goes to track buffs. I would love a way to, number one, type an ability in. You can't do it. Like I can search text here for an ability that wouldn't be under here. You can't add things that Blizz hasn't added themselves. If I search like Diamantine Void Course Proc, chance whatever, it's not, or the buff, not coming up. I'd love a way to be like, hey, I have a buff on me, like a random trinket proc or power infusion, whatever, and to be like, hey, click, drag it in here, and then I can add it to track buffs. That would be huge for the cooldown manager, massive. And PI could be like a bit of a whatever, it's a different player's buff. Maybe you can't track that. I don't even know. But like personal trinkets, like on use effects, like on use intellect buff, love to see it. Void Core procs, love to see it. X trinket procs, love to see it. Jasper Diamond, love to see it. So adding that, even just for self buffs, would be massive. But either way, what we have now currently is what Blizz has put in, what you can use. Some classes are more up to date than others. Some classes have all their current utility buffs, some don't. AF had Rapture until yesterday. They added most of the things in. Some are missing, but not the end of the world. Now, I do want to briefly show the difference here before we get too far into it in track buffs for dot classes versus essential cooldowns. Because I can add Wither, Agony, and Unstable Affliction to essential cooldowns as well as track buffs. Now, for dot classes, track buffs is what you want to use for dots currently. So just to show, this is the track buffs row right here for me. And this is essential cooldowns. So watch how it displays Agony and UA in a different fashion. I don't know what this is. I want this with duration and stack count. I don't know what this weird opposite yellow desaturating spinning thing is. This looks really bad. I don't want this. I want this here. If I refresh here, Pandemic Glow is shown by a red border. I love like a glow, like a golden glow. That'd be sick. If I put up some UAs, same thing. What is this? I don't know what this is. But look here. It shows duration and stack count. This is just some random yellow box counting down. I don't know what it is. This is Pandemic Glow. I want this displayed. I don't want this. But unfortunately, I can't have this functionality with like stack count or like the saturating like clock spin or whatever in this row. So hopefully it's fixed and added. Whatever this is, I don't know what it is. This doesn't do anything. So if Bliss is watching, please change this to this, because dot classes are at a disadvantage already, currently at midnight. It's a video for another time. But the weird thing is, like, you also in this row, you can't choose to have multiple rows of essential cooldowns or utility cooldowns unless you use an add-on like cooldown. I gotta relog them in combat. Cooldown manager tweaks that I'm using currently. Trying to leave combat. I gotta relog. I'm losing my mind with this, but it's okay. Cooldown manager tweaks or tweak or whatever it is allows you to basically make multiple rows of essential cooldowns or utility cooldowns if you want. Now, you don't really need to use this, honestly. It basically gives you options like make multiple rows or skin things or zoom in. Is it needed? Not necessarily, but Blizzard doesn't have the option to like remove the spacing between abilities in like the baseline cooldown tracker. It looks real awkward. It's like an ability, a little space, an ability, a little space. Cooldown manager tweaks allows you to do that. Allows you to make multiple rows if you want, and a couple other functionality things, right? So I'll show you that right now. It's not required, but it's recommended. So /CMT pulls this up. For example, so this is my track buffs bar row here. Unfortunately, it only has functionality for essential cooldowns or utility cooldowns, which is this row here, essential, and this row here being utility. So usually I don't track Addon or UA in this row, so I'm gonna drag these out real fast. I just wanted to show you guys how bad it looked currently, so drag these out. If you want to customize where things are at in here, you can do it. Move them around. You want Malevolence ahead of Dark Glare, whatever, it's fine. This is any class. Whatever abilities you want to order it, it's fine, order it in that way. But yeah, so you can customize these two. So for example, let's say the essential row, which is on top here, right? Horizontal spacing, I'll make it like 10. Watch it space out. See? And now it isn't this large of a gap on the baseline UI, but it's like, the gap's probably like a 4, roughly. There's like little gaps, and why they're there, I have zero idea. Make it 0. The add-on does that. You can even make it like -2 if you want. -2 makes them very close. You can go in the negatives here, -2. Very close, stacked. I leave mine at -2 mostly. Vertical spacing, same thing. I think it's like default like 5 or whatever, where it's like sort of spaced out, or 10. If I had multiple bars, you'd see it, but like I leave mine at -2 for both. There you go. So you can change that for essential and utility row, basically this row and this row. If you want to make multiple rows, let's say for utility cooldowns, right? Row pattern. So it's a little confusing. Once you get the hang of it, it isn't that bad. So I have mine set to 8, 8, basically. What I'm telling it here is like, I want my row to have a max of 8 icons, and the next row can also have a max of 8. I'm never getting that much abilities down there regardless. But let's say I change this to 6 and then 8. It's going to say for my utility row, I want a max of 6 abilities in here being tracked, and then bump the next down to the next row. Let's say it was 8 out of 8. Let's make it 6 and 8. Watch this change. There you go. So if I reload, it'll center as well, but whatever. So you can essentially make multiple rows if you want. Now I just go 8 and 8 or whatever, not a big deal. If I went like 2, 4, or 2, 3, and 8, sure. Left it again here. I changed it around. So there's 2, there's 3, and there's 8. Now, obviously, if I had more abilities in here, it would go 4, 5, 6, and 8. I'm not going to do that. I have a total of, I think, 8 anyways. But point being, if you want to make multiple rows, you can do that. If you want to make it in a weird fashion where you have like 2, a row with 0, so you want to fit a cast bar between them, and then a row of like 8, you can do that as well. For example, update this. So there's your row of 2. There's your row of 0, essentially. And there's your row of max of 8. We have 6 here. You can throw a cast bar in between here, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. It's fine. There's customizations here, some functionality. Icon size can be adjusted too if you want. There you go, bigger, smaller. I have mine at 20, I think. I think it was 20. Might have been 40. I think it was 40, actually. Yeah, there you go. You can tinker around here more if you want to. Row alignment from the center also is a thing that Blizzard's UI can't do, but this add-on can do. So that's great. It makes the cooldown manager more bearable, if that makes sense. Obviously, they need to add functionality into the add-on for the track buffs row. I can't customize this. You can even see, yeah, you can see the gaps here between abilities. This is basically default Blizzard logic here. Like, logic is in like what it does, not like being sarcastic. There's just gaps here. Why are there gaps? I have no idea. But the actual add-on itself, CMT, can remove those gaps or make them very small or whatever. If I want to make this smaller, utility can go to -3, -4. Watch the gap close here fully. They're even overlapping, right? -10 will overlap them, obviously. I have mine at -2, and that works pretty well. So as far as the cooldown manager is concerned, that's where I'm at with it. Functionality-wise, honestly, playing a dot class, like, I feel like I am at a bit of a disadvantage, but overall, it does feel relatively similar to weak auras. Like Haunt, Agony, UA, Corruption, whatever. Throw a few UAs out, give or take. Some Malevolence proc there, put up my Dark Glare, hit my Dark Harvest, which is channeling now. Hit Malevolence, if bug, it's okay. You can see I have 3 UAs active, 11 stacks of Wither, Agony rolling 6 stacks for duration, Haunt expired, cast it again. My buff here, Cascading Calamity is up, now it fell, refresh it again here, there you go. I'm Draining, that was a Grass proc, because Drain Soul's glowing, right? If I get a Shard Instability proc, which, you know, might happen, it'll show up there too. Channeled abilities, Spit Lua arrows currently. You can hide it if you want. It's just from the Dominos cast bar. If it's a non-channeled ability, it won't spit an error. Not a big deal, but, you know, whatever. Probably be fixing it up in a coming build. Not the end of the world. And there's that. I will say, when I swap specs from time to time, I might need to relog here to force this. When I swap specs from time to time, the cooldown manager tweaker thing does sort of break, where I need to basically log out to fix it or reload my UI. Let me log out here. At times, they'll be stacked up. I need to reload my UI to fix it. Fast reload takes 10 seconds, not a big deal. It's beta, some bugs exist, not the end of the world, but I'll show you briefly what Destro and Demo look like here also. And once again, the rows are fully customizable. If you want to change it for yourself, if you want to order it, buffs on top here, cooldowns in the middle, whatever, sure, you can do that. If you want to put dark layer on a row by itself, you can do that too. Not a big deal. Very customizable. Takes a bit of tweaking to get used to. Once you get it down though, super simple. I would encourage you to try it out. Testing of M+ and Raid is next week. And having a functional UI for nameplates, player frames, all this stuff is, I would say, well, worthwhile. So let me change to destruction here. Look at Demo in a sec as well. And go from there. So here's Destro. For example here, they're sort of stacked up. Just reload. / reload. Good to go. And it'll reset itself. The bars are different, obviously. You can customize them however you want. If you are looking to export or import profiles for the cooldown manager, not the add-on, the cooldown manager, mainly being like, hey, I want to import like my version of Affliction's icons or Destro's icons. It's sort of complicated or hard to find. The base UI, pull up edit mode, click one of the bars here, click advanced cooldown settings, and then hidden under here, the section that you can either export. If I want to export the profile for Destro, I click this, paste the information in a document somewhere. Y'all can grab it, have fun with it, and import it yourself. If you want to import it, go under here, import, and you paste the data in here to import my positioning of add-ons, whatever, right? Or of icons. And then there's that. If you want to import the cooldown manager tweaker options that I have here, I have hiccups today. I'm sorry, by the way. All day this video, it's been killing me. If you want to import cooldown manager tweaker profiles, you can also do that. That'll import row patterns, horizontal spacing, all that stuff here too. You go under here, you can import, export, and it also gives you options for active profiles. I have one for each spec, Destro, Demo, AF. They're all the same pretty much, honestly, but I might change the pace, like the spacing of rows here based on the actual icons that I have. So it's sort of like based on what you're doing, your own stuff. But if you want to import this stuff, I'll have links down below to the cooldown manager tweaker or tweaks profiles and the baseline cooldown manager profiles. That's how you want to do it. Also, very briefly, if you are looking for like bars and things, for example, let me pull up Demonology for you. There are ways to use bars in the cooldown manager as well, for like pets or for dots, or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of bars. Demo's a little bit larger. You can see here, a little buggy. Just reload again. Sometimes it bugs out. Larger icons / reload fixes it. Not a big deal. There is a way to make bars for pets, for dots, whatever. So for example, let's say I'm going into here. I want to use for track buffs. It's only track buffs, right? I want to track the duration of my. I have dogs here and stuff, like Dreadstalkers and stuff, but unfortunately, you can't have both like a square, like there's like a buff tracker like this, and a bar of Dreadstalkers. It's one or the other. I can't have both, right? It's here or here. Let's say I want to track. Let's say I want to throw my Dreadstalkers under a bar for whatever reason. You can throw dogs under here. You can throw your Tyrant under here. You can throw Vile Fiend under here. Vile Fiend's tied the dogs. It's not a big deal. But either way, there are bars over here which come up. You can make the bars larger, smaller, icon size, padding, bar width, bar width here. Let's say I want to put it here for some reason. Dogs and Vile Fiend, right? Sure. So we go over here. We get in combat. You'll notice here as well for like the duration of like the active part of Dreadstalkers is this weird yellow effect versus like the duration on the bars being different. Like, so for example, here, there are the bars. There's like, this shows the cooldown, not the active duration, but here's active duration. If I had dogs on my bars here, not as a bar, it would show the active duration as a little like, box for here, basically. There's demonic cores. I have 2 of these. This is my demonic rituals or diabolic rituals. This is a bit weird. I don't like having all 3 of these displayed, but it's better than having things pop up randomly and scuff the bars and throw them around different areas and all kinds of stuff. It's sort of annoying. I don't love having them all displayed at once, but it is what it is. So if you want to have bars for Dreadstalkers or Vile Fiend, do like that, feel free to do so. I'll Tyrant now, for example. There's Tyrant's active duration, and there's his, well, it's being shown twice, whatever, but you know, I'd remove this obviously from here. There's Doomgar as well. Well, there he is. A little buggy. It doesn't show active duration here, but there's his cooldown, which is a little weird. He is volleying, very cool. And yeah, so I'm going to tweak demonology a bit more here. I guess I didn't save last time. Obviously, I don't want to have like Feldom on here. I don't care about this at all. Being tracked buffs, don't care about that. Realistically, Soulburn's sort of the same. I don't really care about that very much, but yeah. So if you want to have dogs on here, I'll keep mine about there. I'm not going to track Charhound. Not really reason to. And there is that. One final thing, if you are demonology, so you can. This is Dominos. I think Rest Druid's doing the same thing with Tranquility or something right now. Rejuve, I don't know. There's no way to track imps currently that are active besides looking at your implosion button. They need to figure out how they want to do that. There's got to be some way to do it. Right now, if you want to do it, I've just made a big implosion button. You don't need the talent into it to have it on your bars, right? I'm talented into Siphon now. Just like go like this, put a point in it and drag it onto a bar. I made a big Dominoes bar right here. Let me pull this up. I'm in combat. I made a big Dominoes bar, basically. I can't leave combat, but I just made the width smaller. Let me try and leave combat because demonology is terrible on dummies. Maybe we left now. Maybe not. I'll relog. It's okay. I've been doing this for 3 days straight. I'm at my wit's end with add-ons, but it's okay because I think I've got it most of y'all done the way that I want it, but I'll show you the Dominoes bar real fast. If I find a better way to make like the demonic arts work here, I'll update it as well. But I don't like having all three active at once, but I sort of need to see when they're cycling down in a sense. And I don't know of a better way to display that currently. Maybe there's a way to like make track buffs work that way. There probably actually is, but it would be like a fourth bar. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. I can maybe figure that out at some point. But as far as the Dominoes thing is concerned, if you want to make like a big bar for this, Dominoes, action bar 3. For example, the bar will be like this. Make sure it's shown. Just right click it. You can do columns instead of 12, do 1 and do, I think it's like, what did I do here? What did I change? Scale. A scale 200. And then I think it was zoom. What else did I change? Frame level 1, columns 1, spacing 2. I can't see. What did I do? Spacing 2. Oh, size 1. There you go. Yeah. Columns 1, spacing 2. It doesn't really matter. And there you go. So you can make a big bar if you want and put it there. You can make it smaller, whatever. It's sort of weird. I don't really like it much, but if you want to track your imps realistically, probably the best way to do it. I'd make it smaller. I just put it here for example's sake, but yeah, that's that. All right, it's 4 a.m. The video was already done and uploaded to YouTube, but we procced a rare white shirt Kala. This is bedtime Kala. We got a working shard bar with partial shards. Somebody made it in my Discord, I think. I'm not sure if it's like a fork of somebody else's or not. If they let me put the actual link, if they're okay with me putting it in the description of this video, I will. If not, I'll ask them or get clarification tomorrow morning, whatever. But either way, this bar does show partial shards. It shows like a 0.4, 0.8 here. It's whatever. It'll likely be updated at some point next few days, whatever. And I would assume like larger working add-ons are also updated for partial shards and partial values soon. But if you want this for now, for raid testing next week or this, that, whatever, yeah, I'll put it down below. And where you can come on my Discord and get it in the general section. I know it's in there. I assume they don't mind me sharing it anywhere, but it's in the general section of my Discord, and I'll probably put it in the description below if I can. So thanks for watching, guys. Wraps it up. Probably a bit of a long video like usual, but hopefully it helps you guys set up your UI and or figure out what's going on with UI stuff, add-on wise so far, day 2 of 3 of Midnight Beta. Whether you're a Warlock or another class, this is applicable to everybody. You can drag Rest Druid buttons on these bars or Prop Paladin. It doesn't really matter. I think that I think a lot of the player base thinks that add-ons are gone fully. They're not. You can do a lot of what you can do currently with like UI skinning and stuff with different add-ons. Now, is it annoying and tedious and should it be a thing? It's annoying, yes. It's tedious, yes. Should it be a thing? Probably not. But it is what it is. I wanted to show functionality in this video. If you want lock profiles, I'll link down below what I have. If you want other classes stuff, you can grab the add-ons and tweak them super easily, but hopefully it gives you all a general toolkit on how to do this stuff heading into week 2, which is going to be like M+, raid testing, and assume PvP, and, you know, all that. If you guys are looking for profiles, like I said, Twitch links up here, as well as down below in the description for the profiles on that stuff. Yeah, and a huge thank you all my supporters on Patreon. For all the support, guys, like always, thank you all a million times. Greatly appreciate it. If you're looking at supporting on Patreon, link up here, once again, as well as down below in the description. And, yeah, thank you. So, I'm pumped to see where things go, man. We're testing basically all of the raids, barring 2 final bosses next week. I think on Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be streaming it all. I wanted to have my UI set up for that, and I do now. I'd say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how happy with it am I? Like a 6.5. I can change a couple things here and there, tweak things, but I was surprised to see how customizable it was, even myself, because I don't know what's totally broken and not broken at this point. Is it, like, great? No. But it's getting there, and Blizz is still pulling back a bit on what they're hiding and not hiding, so, like, restricting, I should say. So we'll see where it goes, but, yeah, thanks for watching. If you're not subbed, please sub. Mean the world to me. We're close to 100K. And I'll catch you again soon on stream. Peace.